of him.
Yeah, you're gonna sit here.
I'll end up interviewing you.
We're on. Go on then, Hassan, do it now.
Won't get me off.
Go on then, he starts it, the next question.
Sound.
Is it on now?
Go.
Is it on?
Yeah.
You say 3, 2, 1. Big fast. You get excited. Is it recorded?
Go on then.
You say 3,
3, 2, 1, and action.
Welcome to our Real Seal _ podcast, and today only we have the real deal, Dave Allen, on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me up.
So I saw you at the show Saturday. You come up to me and you went, "You've been out a long time. You got a box shit." And I thought, how come he's saying that to me? He thought, fight, and he were right. Everything were off, timing. Lucky he said that because I were aware of it. So, is that what happened to you in your fight when you come back?
Well, it's all experience, isn't it? So I just want to tell everyone, I didn't just go up to him and straight away say, "You're going to be shit tonight."
You said you're going to
I just said it's going to be hard, and the opponent you boxed was a good opponent. You came back to a good opponent after a long time out, and you got the win. That's what it's all about. So you can move on to bigger and better things now. But it's a real thing. When I my last fight, Fraser Clark, I'm not saying I would have beat him at my best because he's an Olympian, he's a good fighter, but you definitely feel it. Yeah, I felt like I was coming into it, but what I've realised over time, and probably you'll agree with me on this, boxing is great, winning's great, but for me, and I know you'll agree with me, just being back in that arena, that was a win for me. People can be negative about my performance, they can be negative about what they want, but I was back, and I know you'll agree with me on that because you've had some hard times lately, and just being back there is a win. I couldn't believe I was back in the big time.
Like, what I was thinking is, big plays on your mental health boxing, because like I had a few bad comments about me, and like they were saying, "Oh, so it was a big course, he scraped it, it looked big in there." How do you angle that? Like people giving you shit, like saying you don't train hard, you do this. You must do it. You've sparred use that you've done the best. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you get used to it, I think.
I'm not used to it.
I first boxed Dylan White July 2016, when I was October 23. So I've had 7 years. I'm very fortunate because I've been popular and people like me. The majority of the feedback I get is good. But you get the odd negativity, and a lot of the time, if it's constructive criticism, I can take it. If someone says to me, "You didn't box great," I can go, "All right, fair enough. Maybe I didn't." You know, if they can say, "Well, where's your jab? Where's this?" All right, fair enough. I draw the line at "you're a dickhead." No, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. That's a personal dig. Anything boxing wise, I can take. For me, Jamie Moore, my coach, if Jamie Moore says, "You know what, you did all right, I'm happy." So if Grant says to you, which I'm sure he did, "You got the win. That was the hardest bit out of the way. You can move on now." Who cares? People on the internet being negative for no reason other than to make themselves feel good. Their opinion just meant nothing to me a few years ago now.
And if that's so, would you wish to carry on ticking over, or just think, "All right, 2 weeks notice, I'm gonna fight"? Did you feel, I could just turn back the time, I could have got that extra running, or?
I regret nothing because I live a life I never dreamed of.
True.
When I was a kid growing up, I never picked up a pair of gloves till I was 16.
Yeah.
I never boxed till I was 18. And even when I turned pro, I won a national title as amateur. Done all right as a young pro. So I'm 31 now. Yeah. I've got two, and I'll soon have 2 kids. I've got a missus. I've got a nice life, and I'm content. I'm not happy all the time because life's hard, but I'm over the moon. It's like Liam. I'm sure you have a few more fights. But if you win them or not, you've come back and you've done it, and you're proud of yourself, and you show people that you can do it. Yeah.
How did you, Dave, for a few tips? How did you get? Obviously, you tell me back on this interview, you only sell 100 tickets in 5 fights, and all of a sudden, the big Dave Allen selling O2 Arena out, and you have so much fan base. How did you do that? How did that start?
It started with a Twitter account. Yeah. So I'm watching the boxing. I'm quite funny, you know. I don't know if you know this. Thank you. I'll take that. Yeah. And I was just myself. So I'm just online coming out with some mad stuff. But it was real, you know. I weren't being something I wasn't. I was just being myself. But I look back at it now and I cringe a bit. I look at my behaviour and I think, oh God. Yeah, but I think, oh, I'm glad I grew up But at the time, it was me. I was
Just
being
being
myself,
yourself, yeah.
and people liked it. And just, I took that fights at the right times, really. The Dylan White fight, the Luis Ortiz, but there was no risk because no one expected me to win. So I performed. I was tough and I was clever enough. I could get through them, and I've been very fortunate. The honest truth is, I've been very lucky because my effort doesn't deserve anything that I've had. But I was naturally talented, and I was the right place at the right time. So people always say, "What tips have you got?" And I don't have any, because if you're not yourself, people will see through it. So you can't pretend to be something. You can't pretend to have this charisma or a bit of personality. You've got to have it. But one thing I always do say is that talent shines through.
Yeah.
You know, it will always shine through. So you can be like me, you can be like whoever, but if you haven't got the talent, you ain't gonna go there. So if I'm teaching to any young boxer now, be yourself and work hard, and if you got the talent, it'll show and you'll succeed.
And just for the past 5 years, looking back to your career, would you've changed what you've done now? And like, oh, I think I'm gonna go back to what I've done. And you know, maybe you could have done, you know, tell the fans that don't make the mistake that you've done or whatever.
It's
Try
difficult.
to keep
Yeah,
yourself. You know what I mean?
I've got loads of regrets because I should have achieved a lot more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't change a thing. I've got kids. I've got a nice life. I retired, and it took me 2.5 years to get a proper fight after retiring. There's loads of things I wish I wouldn't do. A million things. This man I wish he hadn't done. But we're sat here now, and we're all quite happy. I've learned from all my mistakes. And at 31, it took me till I was 30. My mum passed away. I had a kid, and just grew up. And I just think there's a moment in every man's life where you just a mixture of things happen. I just grew up overnight, almost instantly. And I wouldn't say I've not been unhappy since, but I've not been in that place where he was in at the lowest time. I haven't been there. I've not been there.
11 months. So yeah. And another question I'm going to ask. Do you know your relationship with Eddie?
Yep.
Obviously, he's fed you with some monster names, crazy names, but he's paid you well, I'm sure. Do you think if he would have took you back a bit, if he would have took you back a bit, and fed you the right opponents and got you there, would you have beaten these kids? Because that Dylan White fight, you couldn't have known where.
Well, me and you are pieces of meat, basically, to these men. Eddie Enright, been good to me. I don't think he's a bad bloke.
Yeah.
There's been times where he's been good to me. I've got a lot of love for him. But we're pieces of meat. We're boxers. Yeah. And let me tell you something. You know, when I retire, someone will come and take my place, whatever that position I'm in. When you retire, someone else will take your place. The promoters don't really care about us, but I don't think that's a secret anyway. They don't care. We're money making. We're just pieces of money making equipment for them. So with Ed, it's just like, you know what? I think he's a good bloke. He's not perfect. So a lot of stuff he does I don't agree with. I feel like my career definitely could have been handled a lot better. But it's done. I made choices that were totally wrong through inexperience, which is why I've come back as a coach and more so as a manager, just to get these kids and be like, look, don't be giving that percentage away. Yeah. What's the point? Yeah. Right. Do this, do that, do this.
Last question, because he's got sparring going on. Who was your hardest spar and who was your hardest fight?
My hardest spar was always Tyson Fury. Yeah. Because I sparred Usyk, Klitschko, all of them. The thing is, Joshua, Joe Joyce, Chisora, all of them. The thing with Fury is I couldn't hit him. So you know with the others, I could hit them back. Yeah. So they might hit me with 10, but I'm going to get them back with 1. So I think, it's all right. With Fury, couldn't hit him back.
Is it because of his eye?
It's his size, yeah. It's his size. But you know what? It's his ability. Yes. It's his ability while being that big. Yeah. Usyk's got all the moves. He's great movement. You know, he can move that way, he can move that way, he can punch with this and that hand. But Fury can do all that, but he's 6'9" and 27.
And now I've got a question for you. This won't take
last one.
Last one. Sparring. Out of them two, Usyk and Adrian, you sparred both of them. And out of your way, who do you think's a better fighter? In your way, if you had a fight to take, which fight would you take, and which one's the easiest and which one's the hardest?
I think Tyson Fury could be the best heavyweight ever lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just, I sparred all of them. And he was just, you know, it's like Erling Haaland now. You know, the City player. Yeah. He's banging in 50 goals a year. Yeah. He's as good as everyone else, but he's just so much bigger and faster. That's what Fury is in boxing terms,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And the hardest fight I ever had was Tony Oka,
Yeah.
because he just punched me from pillar to post. And 2 days after the fight, I got a call saying he's got a year ban because he's not been turning up to drug tests. So even he never failed the test. I'm not saying anything. He never failed one. He didn't turn up for him. But
What's that telling you?
it's a kick in the boxing, just one big kick in the teeth after the other. But only now at my age, coming back now, even though I'm not going to win anything,
Yeah.
I'm not going to win no big major titles, I'm not going to win the world title, but I'm going to come back now and I'm going to enjoy it for the first time. Because when you're young and you'll back me up on this,
Yes.
mate, you can't have a spare minute without worrying.
No,
Who am I boxing next? Who's calling me out? Who's talking shit on the internet? How much weight have I got to lose?
Just about
When
to
have I
say
got to
all
run?
that.
So boxing ain't fun, let me tell you. Boxing
No, it's
isn't
not.
fun.
No, is it?
The only fun you get is when the final bell goes and you've won.
Yeah.
There you go. When you won.
So this for me, and I don't want to talk for him, but I reckon for him, this will be the best part of his career now. Because he's older, he's wiser, he knows the pitfalls, he knows who to trust and not to trust. So,
And he didn't rush his career.
this
He had a bit of pause.
you've got to enjoy. There's got to be some point you watch career where you go, I'm going to enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And it's always the back end. I'll probably make the least amount of money now. I'll probably win some, lose some, but I'm going to enjoy it because we only get one life. And let me tell you something: 100 years time, we're all gone. So
I wish you all the best, Dave. Thanks.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate the
Come on.
podcast, and you know what? Don't forget to like and follow and subscribe. You won't straight through it. Dave, I honestly.
That was